Okay, this is going to be a short video on building the different front plate for the Pogot robot. This would be the sequential finger one, whatever you'd like to call it. Sax valves. I guess sequential is probably better. You've got some main parts. This blue one's going to be the face, the front part of it. This is the back part of it. I already have the little fingers on there. As you can see, they're moved and they're pinned on with just a paper clip that I straightened out. These all print, of course, laying flat on your printer individually. You just clean the holes out and run the paper clip in and make sure that they can move freely, because if they can't move freely, it's not going to work. This main part prints like that. No supports required. No supports required on the little sequential fingers. So the next part we're going to need to assemble is you're going to need to cut a 3mm rod that can fit within. I have to see where the camera is. Let me pull this back. There we go. So that'll fit within there. If it does stick out, it's okay. It's just when you go to install this onto the front of the body, you'll have to tuck that side in first. But prefer to cut it to fit. You've got a gear that's very reminiscent to the gear that's already mounted in here. You notice in this design, when we're running a sequential thing, we do not require the large gear that you see like on the color wheel robot. This one has a smaller hole. So you're going to need to take a drill bit on all of these parts and clean them out, or ream them with a small file or whatever you've got to where you can get them to fit on here. Right now they're going to fit rather tight, and it's going to make this kind of difficult for me, but what are you going to do? I'm going to take it and start it on here, like so. I'm going on this side, the fat side's over here. This is where the gear drive will be. Then we're going to start stacking on these cams. We'll align the cams later. You can have any sequential effect you want. It doesn't have to be in perfect sequence like I show in the video. So you cram them on that way, the flat sides facing away from the gear, and just keep stacking them on. Like I say, don't really worry about aligning them now. And it doesn't really matter if this stuff fits tight or loose on the shaft. It's actually easier to assemble if it fits loose. Right now mine's fitting tight, because in the end we're going to glue them all together. As long as they all move as one, that's all that really matters. There's 6 of these, of course, all together, and I just keep stacking them on here. They can get tricky till you get down to the last one, especially when things fit tight. Come on. Hope I didn't push that rod so far I can't get the last 2 in here. One other thing to keep in mind is on this particular device, it is critical that the motor in the body runs in the correct direction. If you have it run in the wrong direction, these little cams, which are going to be trying to lift these little fingers, will bind. You know, one way they can lift, one way they can't. So you kind of need to make sure that you get the motor running in the right direction, and we'll make that clearer here in just a second. We just need to get all of this stacked in here. You know, not like it isn't hard, but it definitely gets harder when I'm trying to keep everything in frame with the camera. That's for sure. Not sure if I've got that one started on the end of the shaft or not. Like I say, I should have drilled these out to make this shaft fit easier. Then I wouldn't have to use these pliers and be fighting this so much. getting it though. There isn't much shaft left. I'm basically forcing the shaft through, and I can see that it's lined up. Just about there. I'm going to push against the table, try to push that shaft in the rest of the way. Like so. Okay. So, if you tried to back turn it like this, it's going to hit the fingers and it's going to jam up. So obviously in the correct operation, this has to turn in this direction in order for those little fingers to get lifted. Now's the time when you can just kind of decide what you had in mind for a sequence, and you can just kind of space these. Yeah, keep turning this. See if I can get enough spacing here. And I think that the last one. So we're getting there. I haven't got much difference between the first one and the last one, so I'm going to kind of tighten a few of these up a little bit as far as their alignment. Like I say, you can put them in any way you want. So we know this gear has to turn this way, which means the gear that's running on it needs to move in the opposite direction. It would need to be turning up, which you can see I already have it set up to do. In this case, I'm using the 1x220 motor, and I found that when you use the 1x220 motor, if I put positive on the back closest to the battery box and negative to the front, you end up with the correct rotation there. I can feel this gear is tight, so I need to, before I finally assemble this whole thing, I'll need to go in there and loosen my screw on that. You don't want anything, anything binding. So we'll test by just holding this on there, and if I screwed up, things are going to jam up. Okay, things have not jammed up. This is good. So in the real world, when you've got the sequence the way you want it, what I've done is I've gone in with a little drop of super glue and made one little drop between all of these cams into this gear, and then hit it with the quick spray and locked that in position. As far as this front piece goes, this would be gluing on last. This prints flat like that. I did enable supports in here and just popped them out, but I would put a drop of glue here and here and here, and then have those flop forward and feed them through. I guess I'm on camera, I'm not sure. And bring it all the way down to the bottom. Use a tabletop, it's easiest. Like that. So it's on the bottom there, you got a little bit of edge there. And that way everything will still work. And of course then it just goes onto the front of the robot. So that is your basic build for the sequential front display. And like I say, really the only difference between this and the other ones is all the other ones that have a rotating effect on the front will have that large gear there. In this particular one, you don't need that large gear in the front. You've got your own new gear drive to the side.